Good evening, friends. This is Mrs. M with the ABC subchannel. I've been back in the classroom for about 3 weeks, mainly working with the 5th grade teacher I worked with last year to help with communication in that class. The mask requirement has us all struggling to maintain fluent communication, and it's even tougher with a hearing impairment. I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now. I work with a great staff, and everyone seems to be doing their best to support each other. Because of the sub shortage, I find myself floating around to different classrooms as needed and coming back to 5th grade during prep period. It can be a long and sometimes exhausting day. But if there's one thing I've learned this past month, it's that I'm not responsible for how a class operates when I first walk in the door. But I am responsible for how I choose to approach the day. If the law of averages has anything to do with it, if you cover a class of 20 kids, at least 2 of them will give you a problem on any given day. Oftentimes it has nothing to do with the teacher and everything to do with an inappropriate class placement. And the younger the grade, the more likely it is. So how do you handle a kid who is just not placed correctly and may not be receiving all the services that they need? And the simple answer is, do not take it personally. This is not about you or your ability to control the class. And the fact is, if you have 1 or more kids who are not able to do the work on grade level, your role as a sub should be to keep the rest of the class on task and minimize distractions from said students. Don't be afraid to ask for help from other staff members and even other students. Recognize that the kids who are acting out often do this because the work is too hard or they want attention. I don't want to use the word ignore, but moving on with the activities so that the kids who are putting in the effort are able to do them will go a long way. Giving the students who are struggling a choice between what activity to do first may help. If their teacher writes an option for group work in the plans, put the struggling student with a stronger student. I can't stress enough the importance of asking for help and delegating tasks. Using the responsible kids to pass out papers, take attendance to the main office, or lead the morning meeting can be an excellent motivator for the class as a whole. If the teacher leaves you with a list of helpful students, use them. If another staff member offers help, take them on it if you're having a tough time. I had a student help me staple some packets when he was done with his work, and we had a nice little chat. I built a connection just by that small gesture, and connections are the key to cooperative students and a happy classroom community. So even if you have a struggling student who is general ed and probably needs a self-contained setting, or an extremely gifted kid who is moving at a faster pace than the rest of the students, these kids can coexist in a classroom without totally driving you nuts for that day. I hope these tips helped you out. This has been Mrs. M with the ABC subchannel. Have a great weekend, friends.